Have you ever seen a moment where one small sound can freeze the whole world? A moment where a girl speaks a language no one understands. A language so strange that even experts, police, and translators fail. But then, the most dangerous mafia boss in the entire city suddenly says, "I know this language." And in that second, everyone in the room stops breathing. Who is this girl? How did she know a secret language used only by a deadly mafia clan? Why did the mafia boss, the man everyone fears, look at her with shocked eyes? As if he had seen a ghost from his past? Today's story will take you into a world of hidden codes, forgotten families, and a truth so emotional, it will break your heart. So stay with me, because what happens next will stay in your mind forever. And trust me, you will not be able to skip even 1 second. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed. And tell me in the comments which city or country you are watching from. It helps me see how far our stories are traveling across the world. The night was cold, and the rain was falling slow, like the sky was crying. A small girl, maybe 16 or 17 years old, was walking alone on the empty street. Her clothes were wet, her hands were shaking, and her eyes were full of fear. Her name was Nadia. She looked behind again and again, like someone was following her. Her breath was fast, her steps were fast, but her heart was even faster. She held a small notebook tight in her hand, like that notebook was the most important thing in her whole life. Cars passed by, but nobody stopped. People looked at her, but nobody cared. Everyone walked away, because in this city, no one wanted to help a stranger. Nadia whispered softly, "Please, someone help me, please." But nobody understood her words, because she was speaking a strange language. A language that no one around her had ever heard in their life. She reached the corner of the street and stopped under a broken street light. Rain touched her face and mixed with her tears. She opened her small notebook. Inside, there were some names written, and one name was circled many times. Kieran Voss. The most feared mafia boss. People said he was a monster. People said he had no heart. People said he never helped anyone. He only killed, punished, and controlled the whole city like a king of darkness. But Nadia, she only knew one thing. He was the only person who might understand her language. And she needed him, even if he was the devil of this city. Suddenly, Nadia heard footsteps behind her. She turned quickly. 3 men were walking toward her. Their faces were angry, their eyes hungry, and their steps dangerous. Nadia stepped back. "Please, stop, don't come, please." But again, they didn't understand her words. One man laughed. "Hey girl, you look lost. Come with us." She shook her head fast. "No! Please. Leave me." But she spoke in her unknown language, and the men got irritated. "Man, what language is that? She crazy or what? Who cares? Easy target. Grab her." The men came closer. Nadia turned and ran. Her legs were weak, but fear made her fast. She ran down the street, past closed shops, past dark alleys, past lonely buildings. The men followed her, shouting, laughing. Her heart felt like it will explode. She saw a big gate ahead. Black color. Tall like a giant. 2 guards stood there, holding guns. Nadia didn't think. She just ran toward them. The guards pointed guns at her. "Stop! Who are you?" Nadia fell on her knees in front of them. She looked up with wet eyes and spoke quickly in her strange language. The guards looked at each other. "Bro, what language is she speaking?" "No clue." "Should we just send her away?" She shook her head fast and opened her notebook, showing the name. Kieran Voss. The guards froze. This girl knows the boss's name? How? Is she a spy? Or a trap? One guard grabbed her arm roughly. Who sent you? Speak English. She tried. I need him. I need Kieran. Her English was broken, almost childlike. The guards looked confused. She wants the boss? But why? She's just a kid. Before they could decide, the three men who were chasing her reached the gate. There she is. Give her to us. The guards raised their guns. Back off. This is Mafia territory. The men stepped back, but they shouted. That girl is ours. She stole something. Nadia shook her head desperately. No. No. I not steal. They lie. They bad. The guards didn't know what to do. The rain got heavier. Lightning flashed in the sky. Suddenly, the big gates opened. A tall man walked out. Black suit. Cold eyes. Sharp jaw. Dark energy around him. Everyone stopped breathing. It was Kieran Voss, the most feared Mafia boss. He walked slowly, his shoes making soft sounds on the wet ground. The guards moved aside immediately. The three men froze like their souls left their bodies. Nadia looked at him with wide eyes. Kieran's gaze fell on her. He looked calm, but dangerous. He spoke in a deep voice. What is happening here? One guard bowed slightly. Boss, this girl came running here. She's speaking some strange language. And these men say she stole something. Kieran's eyes shifted to the men. His stare alone made them step back. Kieran asked Nadia. Why are you here? Nadia opened her mouth, but no English came out. Instead, she spoke her unknown language softly, like a prayer. Kieran's eyes suddenly changed. From cold to shock. From shock to something like recognition. He understood her. He understood every word. The guards looked at him, surprised. Boss, you understand her? Kieran didn't answer them. He stepped closer to Nadia and knelt in front of her. What is your name? He asked. But he didn't ask in English. He asked in her language. Nadia's eyes widened. She covered her mouth with her trembling hand. For the first time in months, someone spoke to her in the language she thought the world had forgotten. She whispered. You know my tongue. Kieran nodded slowly. Why are you running, Nadia? Her tears fell heavy. She grabbed his sleeve like a drowning person holding on to life. They won't kill me, they want my notebook, they won't stop me. Kieran took the notebook gently from her hand. His face changed. His jaw tightened. His eyes darkened. Like he just saw something extremely dangerous, something shocking, something that connected him to her. He stood up. He looked at the three men. His voice was calm, too calm. You chased her? The men shook. We just want our. He didn't let them finish. Kieran snapped his fingers. His men grabbed the three instantly. Boss, orders? Kieran looked down at Nadia again. She was shivering, scared, alone. For the first time in many years. Something like emotion touched his face. Bring the girl inside, he said. And deal with those men. The men screamed as they were dragged away. Nadia looked scared at the sound, but Kieran gently placed his coat around her shoulders. You are safe now, he said in her language. Her lips trembled. Why, you help me. Kieran looked ahead, his face serious, his voice low. Because, Nadia, your language is not normal. Only a few people in the world know it. And I am one of them. Her eyes widened again. But, why you know it? Kieran didn't answer. Not yet. He just said, come inside. Your story begins now. And with that, he led the girl into his mansion, not knowing that her arrival would change everything. His life, her life, and the whole city. Because the girl who spoke a forgotten language was about to reveal a truth that could destroy everyone. Nadia walked slowly behind Kieran, her feet shaking, her clothes still wet from the rain. The huge Mafia mansion was dark, quiet, and scary. Tall walls, heavy doors, black floors. Everything felt dangerous, like this place had many secrets. 2 guards opened the big metal door. The moment Nadia stepped inside, she felt warm air and soft lights. It was beautiful, but also cold, like a palace made for war, not peace. She looked at Kieran, the Mafia boss. He walked strong, calm, silent. His black suit was wet from the rain, but he didn't care. His steps made no sound, like he was a shadow. Nadia whispered softly, Where you take me?" Kieran slowed down and looked at her. In a safe place, he answered, but this time in her language. Her heart shook again. Nobody had spoken her language for years. Only her parents knew it, and they were gone now. She followed him into a long hallway. Pictures of powerful men hung on the walls. Guns and old swords were displayed behind glass. Nadia felt small, tiny, like a lost bird. Finally, Kieran stopped at a room. He opened the door. Inside was a soft bed, warm blankets, a clean bathroom, and a fireplace. "This room is for you," he said quietly. Nadia blinked fast. "For me? Why?" I nobody." Kieran didn't answer immediately. He looked at her carefully, like he was trying to find something in her eyes. "You are not nobody," he said. "Not at all." Nadia looked down, confused. Then Kieran called for his maid. A woman named Clara came in. She looked kind, maybe 30 years old, with soft eyes and a smile. Kieran told her, "Help the girl. Give her dry clothes. Food. Warm tea." Clara nodded. "Of course, boss." Before leaving, Kieran looked at Nadia one more time and said in her language, "I will talk to you later. Rest now." Nadia watched him walk away. She felt safe, but also scared. She didn't know why this Mafia boss understood her forgotten language. She didn't know why he was helping her. But for the first time in many months, someone was protecting her. Clara closed the door gently and smiled at Nadia. "You poor child, you look so scared," she said in soft English. Nadia tried to respond in English. Sorry, my English, very bad." Clara walked to her and touched her shoulder gently. "It's okay. I understand enough." She gave Nadia a towel and warm clothes. A simple sweater, soft pants, warm socks. Nadia held them close and whispered, "Thank you." Clara helped her dry her hair and sat her near the fireplace. Warmth touched Nadia's skin, and her shaking stopped slowly. Clara brought food, soup, bread, and tea. Nadia ate fast, like she hadn't eaten in days. Clara watched her with concern. "How long you running, dear?" Nadia swallowed and shook her head. "I run many, many days. I no sleep good, people follow me, everywhere." Clara frowned. "Why were they chasing you? You look too young to be in trouble." Nadia looked at her notebook on the table. The notebook the Mafia boss now had. I have something people want, they kill my family, for this." Clara gasped softly. Oh dear. Tears rolled down Nadia's cheeks. They kill my mother, my father, and I run, alone, very alone. Clara hugged her gently. You are safe here. The boss, he protect you. If he say you safe, then yes, you safe. Nadia wiped her tears. But in her heart, she wondered. Why would a dangerous mafia boss protect a girl like her? Why did he know her lost language? While Nadia rested, Kiran sat in his private office. A huge dark room with big windows, heavy bookshelves, and a desk made from black wood. He placed Nadia's notebook on the table. He opened it slowly. The pages were full of strange signs, drawings, and sentences written in her ancient language. Kiran's jaw tightened. He understood everything written. On one page, he read, "The blood mark, the one who carries it will control the hidden kingdom." Another page said, "If the wrong person gets this knowledge, great destruction will come." Kiran leaned back in his chair. His eyes cold. His mind dark. "This girl, she has something dangerous," he whispered. He flipped more pages. He reached one page with a symbol drawn in red ink. A symbol he knew very well. His hands clenched the notebook tightly. "No, this cannot be," he whispered. He closed the notebook and stood up quickly. He walked to the window and stared at the dark sky. The rain had stopped, but the storm inside his heart was getting bigger. "What are you, Nadia? Why do you speak the language I tried to forget? And why do you carry secrets from a past I buried long ago?" He needed answers. He turned toward the door and started walking back to her room. Nadia sat on the bed, hugging a pillow. Her eyes stared at the fire. Her mind was full of thoughts. "I hope I safe here. But, Mafia boss, why help me? What he want? What he know?" She touched her necklace. A small silver piece with the same symbol drawn in her notebook. It was the only thing left from her parents. Suddenly, a soft knock came on the door. Nadia jumped a little. Clara opened the door and whispered, "The boss wants to see you." Nadia swallowed hard. Her heart beat fast again. She followed Clara down the hallway. The air felt heavy. Like something big was about to happen. Clara left her outside a large door. Nadia took a deep breath and stepped inside. Kiran stood near the fireplace, his back toward her. The flames made shadows on the walls. The room felt warm, but his presence felt cold. He spoke without turning. "Sit." Nadia sat slowly on the chair in front of his desk. Kiran turned around. His eyes were sharp. Not angry, but serious. Very serious. He took the notebook from the table and placed it in front of her. "Where did you get this?" he asked. Nadia looked at her hands. "My mother give me, before she die." Kiran's jaw tightened. "Do you know what is written inside?" She shook her head. "No. I only know, it important, people won't kill me for it." Kiran stared at her for a long moment. Then he asked something in her lost language. A question that shocked Nadia completely. "Do you know who your mother really was?" Nadia froze. Her lips shook. "My mother? She, just normal woman, simple woman." Kiran shook his head slowly. "No. She was not simple. She came from a hidden place. A place where your language was born." Nadia's eyes grew wide. "What, you mean?" Kiran stepped closer. He knelt in front of her like he did outside the mansion. He spoke slowly, clearly, deeply. "Nadia, your mother was the last guardian of the blood mark. And you are the last one who carries her power. Nadia shook her head fast. No, no. I normal girl. I know power. Kieran touched the necklace around her neck. This necklace, it is not just jewelry. It is the key. And your notebook holds the map. Nadia felt dizzy. Her heart pounded. Why, you know this? Why, you understand my language? Why, you help me? Kieran stood up. He looked down at her with eyes full of secrets. Because, Nadia, I come from the same place as your mother. Nadia gasped. Her mouth opened but no words came out. You from my people? She whispered. Kieran nodded slowly. Yes. And I have been hiding this truth my whole life. The fire crackled behind him. The air felt heavy. Nadia stared at him in shock, fear, and confusion. And then Kieran said one more thing. A sentence that would change everything. And because of who you are, many more dangerous people will come for you. They will kill anyone who protects you. Nadia's eyes filled with tears. So now, you are under my protection. His voice turned dark. And I will kill anyone who tries to take you. Nadia felt her whole world shift. She wasn't just a lost girl anymore. She was something bigger, something powerful, something dangerous. And the Mafia boss who understood her language was now the only shield between her and death. Nadia sat in the big chair, her hands shaking. Her heart was beating too fast. She felt like she was dreaming, or maybe she was trapped inside a nightmare. Kieran, the Mafia boss, stood in front of her with a serious face. You are not normal girl, Nadia, he said slowly. You are important. Very important. Nadia closed her eyes for a moment. Important? She never felt important in her life. She whispered. I don't understand. I never understand anything. My mother never tell me this. Kieran walked slowly to the window. Rainwater still clung to the glass. Dark clouds covered the sky like something bad was coming. She wanted to protect you, he said. If she tell you everything, you become target. And that is what happened. Nadia looked down at her hands. Her fingers were trembling. People kill my family, for what? For my mother? For me? For notebook? Kieran turned around. Yes. For your notebook. For your mother's power. And for the thing inside you. Nadia's eyes widened. Inside me? What inside me? Kieran sat on the chair across from her. He leaned forward, his deep eyes locked on her face. You carry the blood mark, Nadia. It is rare. Very rare. Only one in many generations has it. Nadia shook her head quickly. No, you wrong. I not special. I not strong. I not brave. I only run. I always run. Kieran's voice softened but stayed firm. You run because you had no one. Now you have me. Nadia looked away. Her throat felt tight. She could not breathe properly. Kieran took a deep breath. It looked like this part was difficult for him too. I know your language, he said slowly, because I am from the same hidden place. Same tribe. Same blood. Nadia looked up suddenly. Her eyes big like a scared cat. You, from my people? Then why you, Mafia boss? Kieran leaned back. A small, sad smile touched his lips. Because I ran away from that place long time ago. I wanted new life. I wanted to forget everything. But this world is not soft. It made me harder. It made me boss. Nadia could see pain in his eyes. Even though he was strong outside, she felt something broken inside him. He continued. I thought my past was dead. I thought my language, my people, my blood, all finished. But then... He looked at her with intensity. Then you came. And everything started again. Nadia didn't know what to say. Her life was simple, painful, but simple. Kieran's life was dangerous, powerful, dark. But somehow, their past was same. She whispered. You knew my mother? Kieran didn't answer for a moment. His eyes softened. Yes. Long time ago. Before she marry. Before she run away. Nadia gasped softly. You know her? Kieran nodded. She was strong woman. Kind. Brave. And she protect our people. Just like you must do. Nadia shook her head again. No. I cannot. I scared. I cry fast. I weak. Kieran leaned forward again. You only weak because you don't know your truth yet. Suddenly, a loud knock came on the door. Kieran's eyes turned sharp. His whole body changed. From calm man to Mafia boss in 1 second. Come in, he said firmly. One of the guards entered quickly. Boss, there is problem, he said, breathing hard. We find something outside. Kieran stood fast. What is it? The guard swallowed. Footprints. Fresh. Someone was watching the mansion. Nadia froze. Her heart dropped to her stomach. No, they find me again. Kieran's jaw tightened. He turned to Nadia. Don't move from this room. You stay here. You safe with me. He walked fast toward the door. But Nadia grabbed his sleeve with shaking fingers. Please don't leave me. Kieran stopped. He looked at her hand holding him. Then he looked at her face. For the first time, something soft came into his eyes. I will not let them take you, he said. No one touches you. Not while I am alive. He gently removed her hand. Then he walked out, and the door closed behind him. Nadia sat alone in the big office. The fire burned softly. Shadows danced on the walls. But the silence felt heavy, dangerous. She hugged herself tightly. Why, always danger follow me? Why my life like this? Her eyes filled with tears. Outside the mansion, Kieran walked through the cold night with his guards. The wet ground reflected the lights from the mansion. Everything looked quiet, too quiet. He stopped near the tall trees where the footprints were found. The prints were small, sharp, deep. Someone was watching. Someone dangerous. One of the guards said, Boss, these not normal person footprints. The steps, very light. Like spy. Kieran's expression turned deadly. They know she is here. He looked at the dark forest. They will come again. His guard nodded nervously. What we do, boss? Kieran looked at the mansion window. At the room where Nadia was waiting, scared and alone. We protect her, he said coldly. We prepare for fight. Inside, Nadia wiped her tears. She tried to stand, but her legs were weak. She walked slowly to the big mirror in the office. She looked at herself. A simple girl. Messy hair. Fear in her eyes. How I important, she whispered. How I carry power. How I same like him. She touched the necklace again. The small silver piece felt warm under her fingers. Suddenly, the necklace glowed very softly. Just for a second. Nadia jumped back. What is this? She didn't understand anything. Everything was confusing. Everything was big and heavy. She went to Kieran's desk. The notebook was lying there. She opened it slowly. The pages had symbols that looked like waves, circles, and strange shapes. But one page made her freeze completely. It was a drawing of a girl. A girl with the same necklace she had. A girl with the same eyes as her. Under the drawing, there was a line written in her ancient language. She whispered the translation softly. The last child of the mark will be hunted until she finds the protector. Her voice shook. Protector? Who protector? Then she remembered Kieran's words. You safe with me. I will protect you. I come from same place. Nadia touched the drawing again. Kieran, protector? But why? Why would a mafia boss protect someone like her? Why would he risk his life? She closed the notebook and held it close to her chest. The door opened suddenly. Nadia flinched. But it was Kieran. He walked in, his face serious, his eyes sharp, but safe. She stood up quickly. You, okay? She asked quietly. Kieran nodded. For now. But danger is close. He looked at her hands holding the notebook. You read something? Nadia nodded slowly. Yes. I read. Last child of Mark, hunted, find protector. She looked up at him with scared eyes. Protector, is it you? Kieran stared at her for a long moment. Then he walked closer. He put one hand on the table, leaning toward her. His voice became deep, calm, powerful. The kind of voice that made the world stop. Yes, he said. I am your protector. Nadia's breath caught. Her eyes filled with tears again. But, why? Why you help me? Why you risk life for me? Kieran looked at her gently. Because you are not alone anymore. And because your mother saved my life once. Nadia gasped softly. My mother saved you? Kieran nodded. Yes. Long ago. And now, it is my turn. He placed his hand on the notebook. I will protect you. Until my last breath. A tear rolled down Nadia's cheek. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel completely alone. But deep inside her heart, she knew the real danger had just started. The room was quiet, but not peaceful. It was the kind of silence that feels heavy, like something bad is about to happen. Nadia stood near the table, still holding the notebook close to her chest. Her fingers were tight around it, like if she lets go, everything will fall apart. Kieran stood in front of her. His face calm, but his eyes sharp, always watching, always thinking. Outside, the wind started again. The windows made a soft sound, like whispers. Nadia spoke slowly, her voice shaking. You say, danger come, more people come, they want me? Kieran nodded once. Yes. Not just normal people. Trained people. Dangerous people. They know what you carry, and they will not stop. Nadia's breathing became fast. I run so long, still they find me. She looked down. I tired. I cannot run more. For a second. Kieran said nothing. Then he walked closer, slow steps, controlled. You will not run anymore, he said. You will stand. And I will stand with you. Nadia looked at him. There was fear in her eyes, but also a small hope. But, if they come here, they hurt you too. Kieran gave a small cold smile. They can try. At the same time, deep in the dark part of the city, a black car stopped near an old building. 3 men came out, all dressed in black. Faces serious, eyes cold. One of them held a small device in his hand. A tracker. He looked at the screen. "She is close," he said. Another man asked, "Inside Mafia territory?" He nodded. "Yes. Kieran Voss Mansion." Silence. Even these dangerous men knew that name. The third man spoke slowly. "This will not be easy. Kieran is not normal enemy." The first man smiled slightly. "We are not normal either." He looked again at the tracker. "The girl must not survive. If she lives, everything is lost." Back in the mansion, Kieran pressed a button on the wall. Within seconds, 2 guards entered. "Boss." "Double security," Kieran said. "No one enters. No one leaves without my order." "Yes, boss." "And check all cameras again. I want no blind spots." "Yes." They left quickly. Nadia watched all this. She felt like she was inside a war, and she didn't even know why. She whispered, "All this, for me?" Kieran looked at her. "For what is inside you?" Nadia slowly touched her necklace again. Her fingers were shaking. "Tell me truth, full truth, no hide, please." Kieran looked at her for a long moment. Then he walked to the chair and sat down. "Sit," he said. Nadia sat again, slowly. Kieran leaned forward, elbows on knees. "You remember anything strange from your childhood?" he asked. Nadia thought for a moment. Then slowly, "Yes, sometimes. I see dreams, very strange dreams." Kieran's eyes focused more. "What dreams?" Nadia spoke slowly, trying to explain. "I see fire, big fire. I see people wearing black clothes. They speak my language. And they bow to someone." Kieran's jaw tightened. "To who?" he asked quietly. Nadia looked scared. "I don't see face, only shadow. But I feel it is me." Silence filled the room. The fire behind them moved slowly. Kieran stood up suddenly. "This is not just dream," he said. Nadia's heart dropped. "Then what is it?" Kieran turned to her. "It is memory." Nadia froze. "Memory? But I never go there. I never see those people." Kieran walked closer. "You were there when you were very small. Your mother tried to hide you, but some memories stay." Nadia shook her head. No, this not possible." Her breathing became heavy. "I just normal girl. I don't want this." Kieran's voice became softer, but still strong. "You don't choose this, Nadia. This chose you." Suddenly, the lights flickered. Once. Twice. Then everything went dark. Nadia gasped. "What happened?" Kieran didn't panic. His voice became low and dangerous. "They are here." Nadia's heart felt like it stopped. Already. From outside, a loud sound came. Glass breaking. Then, footsteps. Fast. Silent. Deadly. Kieran moved quickly. He pulled a gun from his coat. "Stay behind me," he said. Nadia stood up fast and moved behind him, her hands shaking badly. The door burst open. 2 guards fell inside, unconscious. Behind them, a man entered. Black clothes. Cold eyes. No fear. He looked at Kieran, then at Nadia. So, this is the girl, he said calmly. Kieran raised his gun. Wrong place, he said coldly. The man smiled slightly. No, right place. We came for her. Nadia held Kieran's coat from behind. Her fingers tight, almost painful. Please, don't let them take me. Kieran didn't move. You will not touch her. The man laughed softly. You think you can stop us, Kieran? Before Kieran could answer, more shadows appeared behind the man. 3 more. All armed. All ready. The air became heavy. Nadia felt like she could not breathe. Kieran spoke again. Last warning. Leave. The man shook his head slowly. Not without the girl. Then suddenly. Gunshot. Everything happened fast. Kieran moved first. He pushed Nadia down behind the table. Stay low. More gunshots. The room filled with noise. Glass broke. Wood cracked. Fire from the fireplace shook. Nadia covered her ears. Her whole body shaking. I don't want die. I don't want die. Kieran moved like a shadow. Fast. Accurate. Deadly. One attacker fell. Then another. But the others kept coming. One of them jumped from the side. Kieran turned and hit him hard. The man crashed into the wall. But another one grabbed Kieran from behind. Nadia saw everything. Her eyes full of fear. No! Kieran! For 1 second. She forgot everything. Fear, weakness, everything. She stood up. And suddenly, she shouted something. Not in English. Not in normal language. In her ancient language. Loud. Powerful. The moment her voice filled the room, everything stopped. The attackers froze. Kieran froze. Even the air felt frozen. Nadia didn't understand what she said. But her voice was different. Strong. Commanding. Like a queen. The man holding Kieran suddenly let go. His face changed. Fear. Real fear. What was that? One attacker whispered. Nadia looked at her own hands. They were glowing slightly. Soft light coming from her skin. I don't know, she said, shaking. Kieran looked at her. Not with shock. Not with fear. But with realization. It started, he whispered. The attackers stepped back slowly. We need to leave, one of them said quickly. This is bigger than we thought. They ran. Fast. Gone in seconds. Silence again. Only broken things and heavy breathing. Nadia stood in the middle of the room. Her body shaking. Her eyes full of tears. What I did? Kieran walked slowly toward her. His expression serious, but deep. You used it, he said. Nadia shook her head. I don't know how. I just scared. Kieran stopped in front of her. That is your power, he said. Nadia looked at him, completely lost. My power? Kieran nodded. And this is only the beginning. Nadia felt cold fear again. If this only beginning, then what coming next? Kieran's face turned dark. War. Nadia's heart dropped. Real war. Not just running. Not just hiding. Something bigger, something dangerous, something unstoppable. And now, she was part of it. Whether she wanted or not. When the sun went down that evening, the whole Mafia mansion felt strange. It was quiet, but not a peaceful quiet. It was the type of quiet that made your heart beat fast, the type of quiet that made you feel someone was watching you from the shadows. The new maid, Alina, was cleaning the long hallway, but her hands were shaking. The lights were dim, and every sound of the broom felt louder than normal. She kept looking behind her again and again, like someone was following her, but she couldn't see anyone. In another room, the Mafia boss, Adrian, was standing near a big window. His face looked calm from far away, but his eyes were sharp. He wasn't calm at all. He was thinking about the same strange thing again, that language. The language that only he and Alina could understand. How is this possible? His childhood memories were locked away, but something in that language kept touching them, like a small key trying to open a door. He didn't like this feeling. Mafia bosses do not like things they can't control. They like power, order, and fear. But this new maid, she made him feel something he didn't feel in years. Curiosity. And curiosity is dangerous for people like him. He finally left the window and walked into the hallway. When Alina saw him, she jumped a little. Her eyes always showed fear around him, but this time they were showing something else too, confusion. Like she wanted to say something but couldn't. Adrian walked closer, slowly, like a lion walking toward something interesting but unknown. "You are scared," he said quietly. "But you are hiding something too." Alina lowered her eyes, her voice soft. "I don't hide anything, sir." But he didn't believe her. His whole life, he knew when someone was lying. And she was definitely lying. But not for a bad reason. Her life felt protective. He leaned closer. "Look at me," he said. She slowly lifted her head. Her eyes were full of emotions, fear, pain, and something deep that even she didn't understand. "Tell me the truth," he said. "Who taught you that language?" For a moment, she said nothing. Her lips were trembling. Her fingers fidgeted with the cloth she was holding. Tears filled her eyes, but she pushed them back. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. And then suddenly, footsteps echoed from far down the hallway. Someone was coming. Not a normal someone. The sound was heavy, fast, urgent. Adrian instantly reached for his gun. His men never walked inside the mansion like this unless something was very wrong. The footsteps came closer and closer until one of Adrian's guards appeared, breathing hard like he ran through the whole mansion. "Boss, we have a problem." Adrian stepped in front of Alina protectively without even realizing it. "What problem?" The guard swallowed hard. "There is a man outside. He is asking for the girl. He says her name. He knows her. And boss, he speaks that same strange language." Adrian's eyes turned dark, dangerous dark. Alina went completely pale, like all the blood in her body disappeared at once. Her hands dropped the cloth, and her lips whispered something in that mysterious language, something that sounded like a prayer or a warning. Adrian heard it. He understood it. And his chest felt tight. He did not like this at all. "Where is that man?" Adrian asked. "At the front gate," the guard said. "He refuses to leave. He says he will only talk to the girl." Adrian looked at Alina. Her eyes were full of terror now. Not normal fear. Not mafia fear. It was the kind of fear that came from deep past trauma. The kind that made you feel like running far away. The kind that only old memories can create, memories that destroy you. "Who is he?" Adrian asked softly. But she just shook her head again and again. "No, no, no, he cannot be here, he cannot find me." Her breathing became fast, her hands shaking uncontrollably. Adrian had seen many types of fear in his life. But this was different. This was not a fear of him. This was fear of someone much worse. He held her shoulders firmly. Alina. Look at me. She tried, but her eyes kept dropping. She was breaking from the inside. Look at me, he said again, more gently. Finally she lifted her eyes. They were filled with tears. Sir, please, he cannot see me. If he sees me, he will take me. And he will kill anyone who stands in his way. Adrian clenched his jaw. Who is he? She opened her mouth, but before she could answer, another sound came from outside. A loud bang. Someone hit the metal gate. Adrian took a deep breath. Stay here, he ordered her. Do not move. He turned to his guards. You. Stay with her. If anyone touches her, kill them. Alina wanted to grab his hand and stop him, but she didn't dare. She only whispered something in that strange language again, something that sounded like, be careful. He is not human. Adrian heard. And the meaning hit him like a punch in the chest. He walked toward the entrance of the mansion. His steps were slow but powerful. The air felt heavy. Every guard around him looked nervous. Whoever stood outside was not a normal enemy. He could feel it. His instincts were screaming like sirens. When he reached the main door, another guard whispered, Boss, he's still there. He's not scared at all. Adrian nodded once. Then he opened the door. The cold night air brushed against his face. And there, outside the gate, stood a man dressed in dark clothes. He looked calm, too calm. His eyes were cold like he had seen thousands of deaths. His hands were behind his back. And when he spoke, the words he used were the same ancient language only Adrian and Alina knew. I want the girl, the man said in that strange tongue. Give her to me. Adrian felt something deep inside him twist. This language, this stranger. Alina's fear, everything was forming a puzzle he couldn't understand. He stepped forward. Who are you to ask for her? The man smiled, a very cold smile. I am the one who made her. And I am the one who lost you. Adrian froze. Lost him? What did that mean? His heart dropped for a second. The man was still speaking in that ancient language. And every word felt like a punch of memory trying to come back but failing. Adrian's voice was cold. Dangerous. Explain. The man tilted his head. You forgot, didn't you? You forgot your past. You forgot your blood. You forgot the truth about her, and the truth about yourself. Adrian's breath slowed. His fingers tightened around his gun. What truth? He asked quietly. The man smiled again. That she belongs to me. And you belong to the same place she escaped from. Adrian didn't understand. But one thing was clear. This stranger knew everything. Alina knew him. And Adrian was connected to both of them in a way he didn't remember. Before Adrian could say another word, the man whispered something in the ancient language, a sentence that made Adrian's heart stop for a second. It's time for you to come home. Adrian aimed the gun at his head instantly. I am not going anywhere. The man chuckled lightly. You were always stubborn. Even as a child. A loud crack of thunder echoed in the sky. The mansion lights flickered. And at that exact moment, inside the hallway, Alina collapsed to her knees and whispered. He found us. And that's where the real nightmare began. The moment Alina whispered, he found us, something inside the mansion changed. It was like the air became heavy, like the shadows became darker, like the house itself started shaking with fear. Alina's whole body was trembling. She tried to stand, but her legs were weak. The guard beside her tried to help, but she pulled her hand away. Her eyes were wide, full of deep panic, as if she could already see danger coming closer. Outside, Adrian and the strange man kept staring at each other like two storms preparing to collide. The silence between them was sharp, heavy, dangerous. Adrian's gun was steady in his hand, pointed directly at the stranger's head. But the man didn't even blink. He didn't look scared. He didn't look surprised. He just looked patient. Too patient. And that scared Adrian more than anything. The man slowly moved his hands out from behind his back. Adrian aimed the gun higher, ready to shoot if needed. "Relax," the man said in the ancient language. "If I wanted to kill you, you would already be dead." Adrian didn't like his tone. He didn't like how confident he sounded. He didn't like how much he knew. He didn't like how familiar his voice felt, like he had heard it somewhere long, long ago, maybe in some forgotten dream. "Tell me who you are," Adrian said coldly. The man smiled again, the same strange smile that made your stomach twist. "You don't remember me," he said softly. "But I remember you." His eyes slowly shifted toward the mansion, toward the hallway where Alina was hiding. Adrian noticed it instantly and took a step forward, blocking the man's view. "You don't look at her," Adrian said. "You talk to me." The man almost laughed. "Ah. I see. Even after all these years, you still protect her." Adrian's jaw tightened. He didn't respond. He didn't know what to respond. Protecting her? Why would he protect her? She was just a maid, a scared girl, someone he barely knew. But he realized something, he was protecting her. Without thinking. Without planning. His body kept stepping in front of her, like it was a natural instinct. The man continued speaking in that ancient language, his voice slow and sharp. "She does not belong here. She belongs with me. She was trained by me. She escaped from me. And I have come to collect what is mine." Collect. That word made Adrian's blood boil. He stepped closer. "She is not a thing. She is not yours." The man raised his eyebrows. "Then she is yours?" Adrian froze for a second. His heart made a strange jump. But he didn't show it on his face. "She works here," Adrian said. "That is all." The man shook his head slowly. "No. That is not all. She is connected to you. You both share something that nobody else in this world has." Adrian felt a chill run through his bones. "We share what?" he asked quietly. The man smiled again, wider this time. "Your blood." Adrian blinked, confused. "My blood?" The man nodded. "Yes." Something inside Adrian twisted again. Painful. Familiar. Like an old memory begging to wake up. "Explain," Adrian demanded. But the man didn't explain. Instead, he took one slow step forward. Adrian immediately cocked the gun, warning him not to come closer. "That gun won't help you," the man said calmly. "Your destiny is already written." Adrian hated that sentence. It felt like someone trying to control him. And he never let anyone control him. He took another step forward, this time even closer to the stranger. "If you touch her, if you try to take her, I will kill you." The stranger's eyes gleamed. "You can try." Inside the mansion, Alina suddenly grabbed the guard's sleeve. Her voice was shaking badly. "You have to stop him. If they fight in that language, something terrible will happen." "What do you mean?" the guard asked. She held her head with both hands. "They are not normal people. They are not like you. They are not like anyone. They are from a place that should not exist anymore. Her words made the guard step back. Her voice didn't sound human for a moment. It sounded ancient, painful, full of secrets. She continued. The one outside, he is not a man. He is something else. Something older. Something dangerous. She took a deep breath. And Adrian, he is the same. But he doesn't remember. The guard looked shocked. Boss? No. No, he is human. Alina shook her head slowly. Tears fell from her eyes. No. He is not. He is something powerful. Something broken. And that man outside, he wants to fix him. But not in a good way. She suddenly pushed the guard aside and started running toward the mansion entrance. The guard shouted, "Stop!" Boss said, "Don't move." But she didn't stop. Because she knew something the guards didn't know. She knew what would happen if the two men started speaking the ancient language together. She knew what would wake up inside Adrian. She knew the danger. Outside, the tension grew thicker. The night air became colder. Adrian's heart was beating harder now. Something inside him felt like it was waking up, something he didn't understand but couldn't ignore. The stranger finally said, "I will give you one last chance. Give me the girl." Adrian didn't move. No. The stranger sighed, like he expected this answer. "Then I will take her myself." Before Adrian could react, the stranger raised his hand. He didn't touch Adrian. He didn't hit him. He didn't even move closer. He just whispered something in the ancient language. A single word. The moment that word hit Adrian's ears, something exploded inside his head. A flash of bright white light burst in his mind. His hand dropped the gun. He stumbled backward, grabbing his head, groaning in pain. It felt like 1,000 memories were trying to break free at once. His vision blurred. His breath became heavy. His knees almost touched the ground. He saw flashes. A young boy running in a forest. A girl crying beside him. A dark building. Voices speaking the ancient language. A man holding him by the neck. A fire. Screams. A promise. A betrayal. Darkness. The stranger walked closer while Adrian struggled to stay standing. "You see," the man whispered. "Your memories are inside you. You cannot hide from them." Adrian tried to speak, but his mouth barely opened. His throat felt dry. His heart felt like it was burning. At that exact moment, Alina ran out the door. The stranger's eyes widened. "There you are." She screamed, "Stop! Don't touch him!" Adrian forced himself to lift his head to look at her. His vision was blurry, but he saw her face. Scared. Crying. Running toward him. And something deep inside him responded. He pushed himself to his feet and stepped in front of her, protecting her again. Even in pain. Even without memory. His body moved on its own. The stranger watched them with an unreadable expression. "So it is true," he said softly. "Even without memories, you still choose her." Alina stood behind Adrian, shaking. She whispered in the ancient language, "Please, don't take us back. Please." The man's expression hardened. "You have no choice. Both of you belong to me. And you will return." He raised his hand again. Alina screamed. Adrian growled like something inside him finally snapped. And then he spoke. Not in English. Not in any normal language. He spoke the ancient tongue. Strong. Deep. powerful. And the moment he spoke, the ground shook. The wind blasted forward. Lights flickered. The stranger's eyes widened in shock. And Alina gasped with disbelief. Because the words Adrian used were the words of a leader. Not a follower. Not a lost child. Not a broken memory. A leader. A king. The stranger stepped back, whispering, You remember the power. Adrian's voice was dark, strong, and filled with a force that didn't belong to humans. Touch her, he said in the ancient language, and I will destroy you. The stranger stared at him like he was seeing a ghost. Alina grabbed Adrian's arm tightly, tears falling down her cheeks. And for the first time, Adrian felt a spark of something familiar. Something old. Something powerful. Something dangerous. And something that connected him to Alina. The night grew darker around them. The real truth was coming. And it was going to change everything. The wind was still moving like something alive around them. Not normal wind. It was strong, heavy, like it was coming from inside the ground, not the sky. The lights outside the mansion were shaking. Trees were bending. Even the guards standing far away looked confused and scared. Adrian was still standing in front of Alina. His chest moving up and down slowly. His eyes, they were not the same now. Before, his eyes were cold, calm, like a man who controls everything. But now, there was something deeper inside them. Something ancient. Something dangerous. Alina was holding his arm tightly. Her hands were shaking, but she did not move away. She was scared, but also something else. Something like hope. The man in front of them, he took one step back. For the first time, he looked unsure. You remember more than I thought, he said slowly in the ancient language. Adrian did not answer. He just stared at him. The silence between them became heavy again. Then Adrian spoke again in that same strange language. His voice was deeper now, stronger, like someone else was speaking through him. You will leave. Simple words. But when he said them, the air moved again. Like his voice had power. The man's smile slowly disappeared. You think you can command me? The man said. His voice now a little sharp. Adrian stepped forward. I am not asking. Alina looked at him, shocked. She had never seen him like this. Not just strong, but something more. Like a ruler. Like someone people fear without knowing why. The man looked at Adrian for a long moment. Then he laughed softly. So it is true, he whispered. You are waking up. He looked at Alina. And you were the key all this time. Alina shook her head quickly. No. I don't want this. I don't want any of this. Her voice broke. I just want to be normal. The man's eyes softened for a second. But only for a second. There is no normal for us, he said. That life was never meant for you. Adrian suddenly moved faster than anyone expected. In 1 second, he grabbed the man's collar and pushed him back hard against the car behind him. The sound was loud. Metal hit metal. The guards gasped. No one saw Adrian move like that before. His face was now very close to the man's face. Stay away from her, Adrian said slowly. The man looked at him, and instead of fear, there was something like respect in his eyes. You still don't understand, do you? The man whispered. Adrian tightened his grip. Then make me understand. The man smiled again, but this time, tired smile. Fine. He lifted his hands slowly, not to attack, but to show something. Then look. Before Adrian could react, the man touched his forehead lightly. Just one touch. And suddenly, everything went white. Adrian felt like he was falling into deep darkness, and then into light again. His body was still standing outside, but his mind was somewhere else. He saw a place. Not this city. Not this time. It was old. Very old. There were tall stone walls. Big gates. Fire lights everywhere. People walking, wearing strange clothes. Like something from history, or maybe something not from this world. He looked down. He was not wearing his suit. He was wearing black armor. Heavy. Strong. His hands, they were different. Younger. But stronger. Someone was standing in front of him. A girl. She was young, maybe same age as Alina. She was crying. "No, please don't send me there," she was saying in that ancient language. Adrian, no, not Adrian, someone else, was standing there, looking at her. Cold. No emotion. "You were chosen," he said. That voice, it was Adrian's voice, but not the same. Stronger. Harder. "I don't want to go," the girl cried. "You don't have a choice." The scene changed. Fire. Screams. People running. The same girl, chained. Men taking her away. Adrian tried to move. Tried to stop it. But he couldn't. He was just watching. The scene changed again. Dark room. The girl sitting in corner. Broken. Weak. And a man standing in front of her. The same man from outside. But younger. Smiling. "You belong to us now," he said. The girl cried. Then everything broke. Adrian came back. He gasped loudly. His body shaking. His hands released the man. He stepped back, breathing hard. What was that?" he whispered. The man fixed his collar slowly. That was truth. Adrian looked at him, eyes wide. "That girl," Adrian said slowly. "That girl was..." He turned his head slowly toward Alina. Alina was crying. She knew. "Yes," the man said quietly. "That was her." Adrian felt like the ground moved under his feet. "And me," Adrian said, his voice weak. "That man was me." The man nodded. "Yes." Silence. Heavy. Painful. Adrian looked at his hands. I sent her there," he whispered. His voice shaking. Alina stepped back slowly. "No," she said softly. You don't remember, you were not like that." But Adrian shook his head. "I saw it." Tears filled his eyes, but he didn't let them fall. "I did that." The man stepped closer. "You were a leader," he said. "You made hard choices. That was your duty." Adrian looked at him with anger. "That was not duty, that was wrong." The man's eyes became cold again. "Right and wrong, those are small words. We deal with bigger things." Adrian clenched his fists. "I don't care." He stepped in front of Alina again. "I don't care who I was." His voice became strong again. "I know who I am now." Alina looked at him, surprised. "I will not let you take her," Adrian said. The man sighed. "You are still the same, even after everything." He looked at both of them. "Then you leave me no choice." He raised his hand again. This time, not slow. Fast. The air around them became heavy again. The guards suddenly dropped to their knees. They couldn't breathe. Alina grabbed Adrian's arm. It's starting, she whispered. He is using power. Adrian felt pressure on his chest. Like something trying to push him down. But he didn't move. He looked straight at the man. No. He said it simply. But strong. The pressure increased. The ground cracked a little. Glass from windows inside the mansion started shaking. Alina screamed. Stop! You will destroy everything. But no one stopped. The man pushed harder. Adrian pushed back. Not with hands. Not with body. With something else. Something inside him. And then Adrian shouted in the ancient language. A strong, powerful word. The pressure broke. Like glass. The air exploded outward. The man was pushed back. He stepped back 3 steps, then stopped. His eyes wide. Impossible, he whispered. Adrian stood there, breathing hard, but standing. Alina looked at him like she was seeing a miracle. You control it, she said. Adrian looked at his hands. I don't understand it, but I feel it. The man stayed silent for a moment. Then slowly, he smiled again. But this time, different smile. Not evil. Not calm. Something like respect. Good, he said softly. Very good. He turned around slowly. This is not finished, he said. He looked back one last time. You cannot run from what you are. Then he walked away. Just like that. No fight. No more words. He got into his car and disappeared into the dark road. The wind slowly stopped. The air became normal again. The guards slowly stood up, confused, scared. Everything became quiet. Adrian stood there for a few seconds, not moving. Then slowly, he turned. Alina was still there. Looking at him. Both of them, silent. So many questions. So many fears. So many truths. Adrian walked toward her slowly. Are you okay? He asked. Simple question. Simple voice. But now, everything was different. Alina nodded slowly. Yes. Then she asked. Are you? Adrian looked at her, then at the dark road where the man disappeared. Then back at her. I don't know, he said honestly. Silence again. Then Alina whispered. He will come back. Adrian nodded. I know. She looked scared again. What will we do? Adrian took a deep breath. Then said slowly. We stop him. His voice calm. But strong. Because now. He was not just Mafia boss. He was something more. And whatever was coming next was going to be bigger than anything before. And much more dangerous. The night became quiet again, but it was not normal quiet. It was the kind of silence that comes after a storm, when everything looks calm, but inside, something is broken. Adrian and Alina were still standing outside the mansion. The guards slowly went back to their positions, but nobody spoke. Everyone felt something strange just happened, something they could not understand. Adrian looked at his hands again. He slowly closed his fingers, then opened them. I felt it, he said softly. Like fire, but not burning, like power. Alina was watching him carefully. Yes, she whispered. Because that is what you are. Adrian looked at her. And what are we? He asked. Alina took a deep breath. She was scared, but she knew she could not hide anymore. We are not normal people, she said slowly. We are from a group, very old group, people who can use that language, people who have power in their voice. Adrian listened quietly. That man, she continued, he was one of the strongest. He trained many people, including me. Her voice became weak. And including you. Adrian's eyes narrowed. But I don't remember anything, he said. Because you were made to forget, Alina replied. Adrian stepped closer. Who did that? Alina looked down. You did. Silence. Adrian felt that same strange pain in his chest again. I erased my own memory, he asked. Alina nodded slowly. Yes, because something very bad happened. She looked at him again, tears in her eyes. You were leader, very powerful leader, but also very cold, very dangerous. You made hard decisions, you hurt many people. Adrian didn't say anything. I was one of them, she added softly. That hit him deep. I sent you there, he whispered. Alina nodded. Yes, but later, you changed. Adrian looked confused. What do you mean? Alina stepped closer. One day, you saw something that broke you. I don't know what, but after that, you became different, you stopped everything, you wanted to destroy that group. Adrian's breathing became heavy. And him? Adrian asked. That man. He was your right hand, Alina said. Your most trusted person, but when you changed, he didn't agree, he wanted power, control, he believed we should continue. Adrian closed his eyes for a second. And then, he asked. You fought, Alina said. Big fight, many people died, you tried to destroy everything, and in the end, you erased your memory so you can live like normal human. And you? Adrian asked. Alina looked away. I escaped, she said. I was afraid. I didn't trust anyone. I was hiding, moving from place to place, until I came here. And I didn't recognize you, Adrian said quietly. Alina shook her head. No, but I recognized you, first day. Adrian looked surprised. Then why you stayed, he asked. Alina gave a small, sad smile. Because you were not same person, you were calm, you were not hurting anyone, and I felt safe. Those words stayed in the air. I felt safe. Adrian looked at her for a long moment. Then he looked at the dark sky. So now, everything is coming back, he said. Alina nodded. Yes, and he will come back too, stronger, more ready. Adrian's face became serious again. Then we finish this, he said. Alina looked worried. It will not be easy, he is very powerful. Adrian looked at her. So am I. His voice was calm, but full of confidence. That night, Adrian didn't sleep. He stayed in his office. Lights off. Only one lamp on the table. He was sitting alone, thinking. Small memories were coming back, slowly, like broken pieces. Voices, places, faces. Pain, power, fire. He didn't understand everything, but he knew one thing. He was not just a mafia boss. He was something more. And if he didn't stop that man, many people will suffer. Morning came slowly. Alina came to his office. She looked tired, but strong. Did you sleep? She asked. Adrian shook his head. No. She walked closer. What now? Adrian stood up. We find him. Alina looked surprised. He will find us, she said. Adrian shook his head. No, this time, we go first. Few hours later. They were in a car. No guards. No team. Just both of them. Alina was nervous. You sure about this? She asked. Adrian looked straight at the road. No, he said honestly. But we do it anyway. Alina looked at him, then smiled a little. You really changed, she said. Adrian didn't answer. But inside, he knew. Yes, he changed. And he will not go back. After some time, they reached an old place. Abandoned building. Broken windows. Dark inside. Alina's heart started beating fast. This place, she whispered. Adrian stopped the car. You know it? Alina nodded. Yes, this is one of the old places. Adrian stepped out of the car. Cold wind hit his face. He walked toward the building. Alina followed him. Inside, it was dark, silent, empty. But not really empty. They could feel it. Something was there. Waiting. Suddenly, a voice came from the dark. I knew you will come. They stopped. The man stepped out of the shadows. Same calm face. Same dangerous eyes. You remember now? He asked Adrian. Adrian looked at him. Enough, he said. The man smiled. Good. He looked at Alina. You came back, he said. Alina didn't answer. She stood behind Adrian. The man walked slowly around them. You know, we could rule everything, he said. You and me, like before. Adrian shook his head. No. The man stopped. You choose her, again? He asked. Adrian didn't hesitate. Yes. Silence. Then the man's face became cold. Then you are my enemy. The air became heavy again. This time stronger. More dangerous. The fight started. No guns. No knives. Only power. Only voice. The man spoke in ancient language. Adrian answered. The building started shaking. Walls cracked. Glass broke. Wind moved inside like storm. Alina covered her ears. It was too strong. Too loud. The two men were not fighting like humans. They were something else. Something powerful. Something old. Adrian felt pain, but he didn't stop. He pushed harder. He shouted stronger. The man attacked again. Stronger. Faster. Adrian fell to one knee. Alina screamed. Adrian! The man stepped closer. It's over, he said. Adrian looked up. Breathing hard. No, he said slowly. Then he remembered something. A feeling. A promise. Not power. Not control. But something else. Something simple. Protect. He stood up again. This time, different. His voice was not angry. Not loud. But deep. Strong. He spoke one word. The word of protection. The air changed. The attack stopped. The man froze. His eyes wide. That word, he whispered. Adrian stepped forward. You forgot, Adrian said. The man shook his head. No. Yes, Adrian said. We are not made to destroy. He looked at Alina. We are made to protect. The man looked confused, angry, broken. Adrian raised his hand. Not to attack. But to finish it. One final word. Strong. Clear. The light filled the room. The man screamed. Then silence. Everything stopped. The wind. The shaking. The sound. The man fell to the ground. Unconscious. Or maybe, finished. No one moved. Adrian stood there, breathing slowly. Alina walked toward him. "Is it over?" she asked. Adrian looked at the man, then at her. "Yes," he said softly. "It's over." Outside, the sun was rising. New light. New start. Alina looked at Adrian. "What now?" she asked. Adrian smiled a little. "Now, we live." Simple words. But heavy meaning. Alina smiled too. For the first time, real smile. No fear. No pain. Just peace. And Adrian. He was still strong. Still dangerous. Still powerful. But now, he was something else too. Human. And maybe, for the first time in long time, free. So in the end, everything changed. The fight was not just about power, it was about choice. Adrian had power before, but he was lost. Now he had something more important, he had heart. He chose to protect, not control. He chose to save, not destroy. And Alina, she was not scared anymore. For the first time in her life, she was free. No running, no hiding, no fear. Both of them lost their past. But they found something better. A new beginning. Maybe the world will never understand what really happened that night. Maybe nobody will ever know the truth about that strange language. But one thing is sure. Sometimes, the most dangerous person in the world can become the one who saves you. And sometimes, one small choice can change everything. If you enjoyed this story and want more powerful, emotional stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also tell me in the comments from which country you are watching this video.